in that case, we will start. And I just wanted to say it's really wonderful to see you all here. It's wonderful to see that we have participants in the Gompa, the lucky ones who get to have pizza or whatever momos later after the meeting. We'll get to have a tea together, which is wonderful too. And I just wanted to say it's really a special moment for us because we do it only once a year. So for all of you who have joined in the last year, warm welcome to all our new members. I'm not going to make you raise your hand. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we're particularly happy and honored and it's just wonderful to have you all here. And for those who have been supporting us for the last 25 plus years, thank you very much. We could not have done it without you. So this center is not built on one person or a particular teaching or anything like that. It's just our members who are basically the pillars of everything we do is because of you, because of your support, because of our volunteers, because of our benefactors. And it's just wonderful to get together once in a while to celebrate a little bit what we are all achieving together. So what we are going to do today, we will share our finance information with you. It's always interesting to know, maybe for some of us who are more finance savvy more than for others, but it's good to know where we are standing and how we are doing. So Matt, who is there in person, will share that update with us. We will give you a search status on our resident teacher and also an executive director. Spoiler alert, there are no big news just yet, but hopefully soon we will find out something about that. But we'll at least tell you what's going on and what we are doing on that front. We will introduce to the new members and those of you who might not know everybody because our board members are scattered around the world almost. So we will introduce those board members to you, and those who know them, you'll get to hear from them a little bit. And we'll talk about 2025, plan for 2026, and we will get to know each other a little bit, hopefully, especially afterwards. Okay. Before we start, are there any questions? Okay. Then the next slide was
Nina,
yes.
there was one comment here in the GOPA that asked if you could speak a little slowly.
Okay, sure. I will do my best to speak slower. Thank you very much for bringing it up. Whoever requested that, surely. Thank you. And for those online, I can see you. So if you see me speaking too fast, I sometimes forget. Tell me to slow down, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Matt, you wanted to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. And we requested for Venerable Rubina. Oh, there she is joining just now. So Matt, the stage is yours to introduce our motivation person and also first speaker of the day or night for some of us.
I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. I forgot.
No, you're just in time, Venerable.
Hi, Venerable.
Just in time.
I'm happy. Who's there? Laura?
Venerable, you're never late. You're never late,
no.
Venerable. You're always
You're
on
always
time.
exactly at the right time.
Well, okay, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be here. Okay. What's the story?
Thank you for being here, Venerable. And
how come I can't see your face? You're invisible. Matt.
Okay, maybe I'll get up here. I don't know. Can you see me now, Venerable?
How come you're so tiny? Where is people in the Gompa, are they?
Nina, take your screen down. Nina, take your screen.
Matt is in the Gompa.
But I mean, who's in the Gompa? Just Matt?
No, we have a full Gompa. There's, I don't know,
oh,
30,
okay.
40 people
Oh,
here.
I can't see them.
That just means you have to come visit us, Venerable.
Oh dear, all right. I'm happy to see everybody. I mean, I can't think you're all there. I'm very happy you're there, okay? Okay.
Venerable, thank you for being here, and thank you you've been a supporter of the center since its founding 25 plus years ago, and maybe some of the newer members.
Oh, here we go. Look, some people now. I'm seeing some people.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, go.
And for those of you that don't realize, Venerable Rabina was a big reason and a big motivating influence in our recreation and pivot to kind of what we've become now. But, she was here in Santa Fe for a couple of years during COVID and was a big influence and helped us recreate and not just survive COVID, because we had a lot of challenges, as so many people did and so many Dharma centers did around the world. But I think we're thriving from where we were a number of years ago. So Venerable Vina, thank you for all
Total
you've
pleasure.
done
Happy,
for
happy,
us, and
happy.
hopefully will continue to do for us.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
And if you don't mind, could you lead us in a motivation for our
So just tell me the event today. What's the event, Matt? I forgot.
It's our annual member meeting. We're just kind of celebrate our members and celebrate the center and kind of what we've accomplished over the last year and our goals for this year.
And who's there in the Gompa?
I mean, there's a lot of people here in the Gompa. There's probably about 35, 40 people.
Can you just turn the camera around once so I can see them? Yes, can't you do that?
Venerable
Right.
Dondrib's trying to the
Okay.
camera
Okay.
around. Yeah.
Okay. It'd be so nice to see everybody, that's all, somehow. Okay, wonderful
They're
people.
all waving.
Happy.
And I requested also, Venerable, if you could also lead us not only through motivation, but we planned about 15 minutes for a short talk, because we are here to celebrate our Dharma community, and we wanted to hear a Dharma perspective about the importance of community and also some advice how to cultivate it.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best. Okay. So yes, but the thing always comes to my mind that I just love so much, is that Rinpoche said one time so clearly. He said that working for a Dharma center, just for a day, he said you create more merit and purify more than you would if you were doing years of retreat. And so somehow these type of sort of numbers, I mean, Rinpoche is big on that, 400 million eons in the hell realms if you blink, or other equally enormous amount of merit. So somehow these things, if Rinpoche is kind of speaking the truth, what it points to actually is something even more fundamental than we think our job is to provide a Dharma center. But our job really, everybody's job is to really, the bottom line of a Dharma center, I think, isn't just to give teachings. The actual job that we've got is what they call create merit. So, okay, that's Buddhist. We know that. Oh, I sort of started the talk without a motivation. Maybe the whole thing's a motivation, okay? The whole thing's a motivation. So the thing is, if we really think clearly about the Buddhist path, you look many times, you see in the teachings the variations of these words. What practice is learning to know what to abandon and learning to know what to cultivate, or learning to know what to purify and learning to know what to do, or purify, you pull out the weeds, grow the flowers, purify the delusions, create the virtues. And even if you look at the word Sangye, I always love to quote this, the etymology of the word Sangye, which is the Tibetan for the word Buddha, the first syllable implies that the utter eradication from our mind of all the neuroses. We pulled out all the weeds. That's liberation. And the other word, the Sangye, Gye implies the development to perfection of all the goodness and wisdom, and that's growing all the flowers. So this is a constant fundamental point in all of Buddhist practice. So if that's true, then the bottom line is our job in a center isn't even just to give the teachings, it's to enable people to create merit and purify delusions. That's the bottom line. So therefore, because the center, they talk about karma, how we know with karma that everything we think and do and say produces us, programs us. Everything we think and do and say is what produces the person we become. And in general, in order to create virtuous karma, what it's mainly dependent upon is the intensity of the virtuous motivation. Equally with the negative, the intensity of the negative motivation. That's what gives the character and the strength to the action, and therefore the character and the strength of the future result. So there are some actions, though, the Lamas all say this, and Lama Zopa really stresses this for us. Some actions that don't even, because they say the power of that action is so potent that even without a motivation, it has more power. And so one of those is living in vows because of the power of vows. The other one is doing actions in relation to some very powerful objects, as they say, like a holy being, like the Sangha, because they represent the existence of the Dharma, like a place that helps people with their mind, which is called a Dharma center. So they're so potent, so powerful. That's why Rinpoche says, even working for just one day, sweeping cleaning the toilet, you've got the job of toilet cleaner. You should be so blissed out because you create more, you put in your bank more virtuous karmic seeds, you create more virtue, and you put atomic bombs under more delusions than if you struggled away as an ordinary person in years of retreat. Now, I find that very encouraging, okay? So be happy, people. Even if you just picked up a piece of trash outside or you smiled at somebody in the Gompa, amazing. So I find that very beneficial. I mean, we need to remember these things. I mean, we're not going to be most of us yogis and yoginis in the mountains 24 hours a day, but when we know this, we can be very wise in choosing what we allocate our day to, and the bottom line is if you're trying to purify and create merit, if you're trying to purify and grow virtue, this is an amazing way to do it. So I just love that, I mean, that's why I feel so fortunate that these lamas, Lama Zopa Lama Yeshe, for me, they're my teachers, but they're also my bosses. I've always worked for them. And even when I'm doing something like when I had to go to there's a Greek island called Paros. It always sounds exciting, a Greek island, but I tell you, it was totally boring for me. It was this great big fat rock. I thought it was so boring, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy to climb on the boat and go to smelly old Athens, This boring old rock with wind everywhere. And I mean, I just thought it was so boring. But we had a center there. And Lama Zopa still had to go. So basically I was like the cleaner. I cleaned up the cat shit in the bedrooms. I made the beds for the visitors. I lugged the shopping in my shopping bag, so there were no buses and taxis there. But that action, because it was that for a Dharma center, I was happy. I was completely happy, I was putting money in my spiritual bank and putting atomic bombs under my delusion. So I was happy to do that. So remember that. When we don't just label the action, which is how we do in the West, according to the reputation or the value of it or the importance of it, So this for me is very beneficial to remember. It really puts us on the earth, So any of you people who are part of this center, even 1 cent that you give to this center, same deal, incredible merit, You can give $1 million a day to the dog home, nothing wrong with helping dogs. I mean, marvelous, but 1 cent to the center, more beneficial for you, for you. Yeah, that's the point. We shouldn't be apologetic about this. It always sounds a bit selfish, like, oh, I don't want to do an action because it's more merit. Well, yes, you should do an action because it's more merit. Be sensible, be intelligent, It's like just so sensible to think that way, because we have to grow our own selves. We have to grow ourselves so we can help others. So we need merit in our spiritual bank so we can help others. So it's really important to remember these things. So that's what I want to say, I think. Will that do? Motivation and teaching all in one. And it's about 7 minutes, not 15. I'm sorry, it'd be too long.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Okay, darling.
So joyful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Matt's gone to sleep.
So the next point on our agenda is a financial update, and that will be done by our treasurer and chair board, Matt, who is there in the center. Just introduce our Robina. Matt, are you ready?
Please, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wonderful.
So this screen shows our current year-end financial situation as well as the past few years. If we look at the upper right-hand quadrant in the green columns, that shows our member counts. So if it only goes back to 2022, if we had the member numbers for pre-COVID, before COVID, we were actually somewhere around 35 to 40 members at the center. And counting members in terms of people who were contributing either financially and or their time as volunteers to the center. So we've grown a lot since before COVID, and then you could see we did dip a little bit once the world started opening back up and people got back to their normal lives. But since 2023, our member count has continued to grow. So that's always a good thing, because without members, hard to keep the doors open and keep the center running and keep inviting teachers here. If there's nobody to attend the teachings, and what's the point? If we look at on the left of that, the revenue expenses, you can see our revenues, the money coming in from donors, from offering classes and teachers, teachings. You can see our revenue continues to fluctuate as we do different programming over the course of the year, having visiting teachers and things like that. But we are raising more money than our expenses, which is the goal, even as a nonprofit. It's still important to understand where the money's coming in and how it's going out. As I was telling somebody earlier today, the electric company doesn't care if we're a Dharma center or a nonprofit. We don't pay the light bill, they turn it off. So luckily, we have great membership, a lot of supportive donors, so we can keep the lights on. So thank you. Below that, in 2025, you could see the breakdown of where members have allocated their offerings between membership, a general donation, what we classify as a 130 Rabbit Road project, this building, the Geshe House, or just general classes and events. Below that, you can then see the expense categories on where we're spending the money. And as you would, I think, expect, spiritual program is the leading expense category that we have. Then it's the occupying this building and keeping it going, and so on and so forth. Most of the quote unquote staff or people that work at the center are doing so on a volunteer basis. We are offering small stipends in certain categories, certain positions to help defray some of their costs of their time and energy that they spend volunteering for the center. So you could see on the payroll and related costs section, we're not spending a lot to pay staff here. Nobody's getting rich working at this center financially, but as Venerable Bina so eloquently said, they are depositing a lot of karmic seeds into their Dharma bank. On the right, you can see a summary on the loans. We have various loans that we have taken out over the last 6 years. We had originally, if we added it all up, it was almost $1.5 million in debt. If you totaled it all up, we now have outstanding balances of about $847,000. So we've paid off, roughly $600,000 of debt over the last 5-6 years. So we're doing a good job of paying down the debt. Yeah. And then there's a breakdown showing the different loans for what aspect. I'll start with the smallest one first, the EIDL, that's the Economic Impact Disaster Loan. We were eligible for a $56,000 loan from the U.S. government at COVID to help the organization. So we took advantage of that. We borrowed the $56,000. It's a 30-year loan at 2.75% interest. So very low borrowing cost. That helped us when COVID hit, just kind of figure things out, keep the lights on, so to speak, and keep our teachers paid and keep the spiritual programming going. The 130 Rabbit Road, that loan, $400,000, we took to buy this building. We paid $600,000, a little over $600,000 to buy the building. We had raised a couple $100,000 for the down payment, but we then borrowed $400,000 at 2% interest-only loan. And we now owe $192,000 roughly on the loan. So we've paid off more than half of that over the last 6 years. We could have just moved right in and started using the center as is. I think it was in really good shape. For those of you that saw the state of the building in early 2020 when we bought it, it was a good condition. But COVID was actually a little bit of a blessing in disguise for us in that it allowed us to take a step back, borrow some money at I think a very low cost at 3.25%, and do the renovation and turn it into this beautiful home that we have now. So we borrowed $635,000 to do the renovation and the construction work on this center. Bring in some beautiful holy items, this great tanka we see above our altar that was on advice from Lama Zopa Rinpoche with Geshe Cherub's help. We now owe $495,000 and change, so that, doing a good job paying that down. And then the last loan that we have is the Geshe House. So with Christopher Harris's help here, we were able to Sorry, we did lose the mic, Nina, and for those of you online, so switch to a new mic. I was just starting to talk about the Geshe House. Christopher Harris, who I think many of you know, is a realtor in town, and he helped us negotiate the purchase of the Geshe House. And that too, we borrowed a fair amount of money, but we only owe a little over 100,000 on that. It was originally, I think, a 389,000 purchase, and spent, I think, 15,000 doing some renovation work. Hello. Okay. And so, yeah, I think we're making great progress in paying down the debt. We've borrowed at extraordinarily low interest rates that we'll probably never, hopefully never see again in our lifetimes, given the problems in the world that precipitated those interest rates. But any questions about the finances, our debt, our income, expenses, membership?
I do have a
Thank you.
request because it's a question I sometimes get. So if I may quickly request for you to explain what happens with the difference between our revenue each year and expense categories, because it might be unclear to everybody that within those expenses, our debt payments are not included, and therefore we don't have a few $100,000 in the bank. If you could speak to that a little bit, to the difference between revenue and expenses.
Good point, Nina. So with typical accounting principles, revenue and expenses are, the P&L, profit and loss, is categorized one way. Your cash flow is in a different category. So to Nina's point, the debt and loan payments they don't show up on the P&L. So the revenue expense. So the difference is there. Of revenue coming in. That's how we've been able to aggressively pay down the debt over the last 6 years. So all the excess income coming in, we use to pay down the debt as fast as we can. And we have a healthy cash balance and reserves to cover our day-to-day operating expenses. As a lot of you know that are here in person, we've had a lot of problems, not necessarily problems, but just deferred maintenance things that come up with owning a home. We've had to fix some plumbing issues, the well we had issues with, things like that. So we've had a lot of unexpected expenses this year, but through the generosity of our donors, we're fully capable of taking care of those, getting them corrected and fixed quickly. Yes, Bill.
Matt, how much is the membership these days? The same as before, 50 a month, or are you changing?
Yes, Venerable. Yeah, our membership has stayed the same, $50 per month. And then Bill had a question here in the GOMPA for those that online just didn't hear. It's asked the same time as Venerable Rabina. Bill was asking about the loans that when they mature in the year that's due, what happens then? Do we have to refinance? And that's exactly what we would do. We would refinance, take out a new loan. So that's the one risk, is at that point in time in 2028, for instance, in a couple years, end of 2028, when the Rabbit Road loan is due, we'll have to refinance if there's still a balance there. We won't be at 2%. I would most likely wager, given where interest rates are right now, it's probably be 2 to 3 times that is where current interest rates are. So. But hopefully we'll have it paid down or mostly paid down. Don has a question here in the GOMPA. Don asked if TNL was a nonprofit. Yes, we're a 501c3 registered nonprofit, so we don't pay taxes, which is great. Any other questions in the GOMPA or online? Yes. Yes. That's a part of it, correct. The question wasn't the original loan to buy the building through through FPMT, and is that a reason why the interest rate is low? Yes, the original loan was facilitated through FPMT, and we negotiated that interest rate, and that was just kind of the nature of where the market was for interest rates at the time. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was a special interest rate just because it was from FPMT. It was kind of somewhat of the market rate at the time. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, the question in the GOMPA was about membership, if that's individual members that are paying monthly. It's a combination. It is individuals. Some of the members pay monthly, some give one time, over the, during the year. So combination thereof, just depends on each person's circumstances. Some of our members are not giving from a financial standpoint, but they're volunteering a certain number of hours per week at the center doing various tasks. So, yeah. Any other questions? They're all great, so don't be shy. Because if you're thinking it, somebody else probably is too. Anybody online have questions? Venerable Rubina, Linda, Patty? No? Okay, great. I will, Nina just put on another slide. Here's our donations per year, going back to 2020. So you can see how much has been given per year and kind of where we are through the first 4 months of 2026. So.
Is this slide inclusive of general donations and membership income?
Correct. It's all donation types. Good question, Lauren. Okay.
Matt, from your experience, would you say that, from the amount of 2026 that has happened so far, are we kind of on track or on pace with past years, or how does it compare?
I'm just, there's a glare on the TV, so let me just look. So if we annualize this, and just as an estimate, so 95,000 and change times 3, that's roughly 300,000, if I round up. So that's in line with kind of the last couple years. We had 283,000 and change last year, 351 the year before, 236 and 23, 315. So I think we're definitely in the ballpark. And typically, we have start the year with some good donations from some members who give larger amounts at the beginning of the year, and that's kind of their annual giving. And then typically at the end of the year, we see a similar sort of thing where some donors and supporting members will give a larger amount at year end. So I think we're on pace with in years past. Okay, maybe we can go on to the next slide, Nina.
Matt, we will jump to the board and team introduction, and the resident teacher and director information will be given by Dalglish, but he pinged me that he'll be a little late. So we will do that after the team updates, if that's okay with everybody. And in the meantime, if I may ask Mary to prepare and get on stage, because I wanted to give you a quick reminder for most of you, but for some of you, maybe introduction of who our board is. And those individuals, the 6 individuals that you see in the middle of the circle, starting with Venerable Lozang Dondrup, who is our SPC and board member. Matt is, whom you just heard, is our treasurer. That's why he is so knowledgeable about our financial situation. He's also our board chair and with the center for many years now. The one that is most senior with her presence at TNL is our Charlene, who I suppose is there in the Gompa. She's been with the center for almost 20 years now, so big chunk of the 25 years of our center history, and she knows it all in our meetings when we try to repeat all the mistakes. She's the one to point out, we've already tried that. Then we have Doug Leash, who will join us a little later. He's in San Francisco and will talk about the director recruitment and resident teacher recruitment. So get to know him. He is our strategy slash, he's a former McKinsey consultant and does consulting work still and management consulting. So he is our professional. We are all professional, I must say, but he will make sure that everything is over the top professional in the ways we do things and in the way we plan our strategy. And last but not least, the person who will speak to us right now about a very important topic, in my opinion, Mary Colony. Mary has been with FPMT forever. If I told you all the things that she has done for and with FPMT, you would think she's 150 years old, but she's not. She was director of education for FPMT for many, many years. So a lot of materials that we share or share lashes on the screen will have Mary's name on the first page because she's the one who prepared at some point all those materials. And she is the one making sure that we don't just fly away into AI space, but that we have our roots grounded in FPMT and Dharma as much as possible, because she doesn't let us forget what the point is of it all and where our roots are. Mary, are you there?
Yes, I am, Nina. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. So before we introduce our team, which I'll do in just a moment, because some of our team wanted to give some updates, we just wanted to express maybe the most important reason why we're all meeting here, and that is a heartfelt thank you for all of you.
Do you want to read that, Nina? Do you want to read that slide or?
I think you can read it if you would like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Buddhist Center exists to bring more balance, joy, and kindness to our inner and outer world because of your unwavering support. Without our dedicated members, generous benefactors, and selfless volunteers, our doors would not remain open. Today, we celebrate the hands and hearts that build this community. So, so I guess where I could say something is just, the whole FPMT organization, which I'm sure most people all know is a worldwide organization with, 160 odd centers. It's all been built from the ground up from volunteers. It's from the very beginning been a totally volunteer organization. What some people may not realize is that the organization never came from the side of the teachers. It never came from the side of the lamas saying, we want centers here, there, and everywhere. It came entirely from the side of students who felt the need to have a center because they needed to have teachers and continuing education. And one thing that struck me in Matt's graphs, the spiritual program being by far and away the biggest expense of the center, while that may seem obvious, it's actually not always obvious because many organizations and even Buddhist organizations, they put a lot of their money into their appearance, into their buildings. You'll go into Buddhist centers with very, extremely elaborate temples and gompas. And one thing that came to me when I looked at that slide of Matt's is years ago, there was a student who was complaining to Lama Zopa that if we just had bigger, more elaborate centers with bigger gompas and more statues and more gold, we'd have more people coming in the door because they'd be attracted to it. And if our lamas would just do a lot of observations and pujas for people when they're sick and dying, we'd have more people walking in the door. And Rinpoche got very wrathful at that question about why we weren't developing in that way and said, our purpose is education. Our purpose is giving people the Dharma. Our purpose is to give people the tools so they can live happy, healthy lives and happy, healthy deaths and good rebirths. So one testament of this center to Norberling is, that it spent years and years in this, various locations, actually. I think there's been about 5 or 6 by now, many which were, old and run down and small. And that was fine because we were giving education. But slowly, the fact that it's built up is because of the people who've engaged, because it didn't come from anywhere else other than the members. FPMT doesn't give money to their centers. Each center evolves according to the members who come and the benefactors that come. So, the fact that that the main core is the education, and then because of the education, people receive the benefit, and then because people receive the benefit, they give back, and that's how the center grows. So, yes, so it really is. There's no reason to exist except that people would want the teachings, and there's no reason it can continue to exist if it weren't for the members and the volunteers giving to it. And in terms of, the different levels, the members, benefactors, the different levels of giving, one thing that also came to my mind for some reason when I saw Matt's slide was, Buddhism has always been supported, obviously, by the people. It's not like the Catholic Church where there's this big, central governing body that gives money. It's always been from the people, the cultures, societies. And I remember once years ago traveling in China and seeing this, amazing Buddha carved into this cliff. And the way that Buddha was built was because the benefactor gave his eyeballs. The king said, if you give me your eyeballs, then well, actually, it wasn't the king, but he said, give me your eyeballs, and then I'll help you build this statue. So, in historic times, those stories are true. These great bodhisattvas, they would give their limbs, they would give the parts of their bodies those were the great benefactors of old. So, okay, we're not in those times anymore, but the fact that people step forward and give, and often give beyond their means, give where, as Mother Teresa said, it's when giving is when it's when it's hard to give, and you give. That's really, then you're really giving a lot. And our Dharma centers are proof of that. I mean, if you saw the beginnings of FPMT, Robina might have been bored in Paros. I was living in this, grass hut in Bodh Gaya where, no door, no windows. I actually had a cobra come into my hut and take something off my altar. I mean, those were the living conditions. And I actually paid to live and work in that center. So, those were our beginnings. I mean, it was unheard of. It's actually anyone getting stipends. Matt said a few people here get stipends. Even that, it's relatively new. Only 20, 25 years maybe that, anyone in FPMT has paid anything at all. It's always has been, built on the backs of people just giving their time, their sweat and tears. In my case, lots of tears. Yeah, so just thank you, because nothing would be here without the people coming, without the people giving their time, their money, their expertise, and everything else. So yeah, so those are the various levels, I guess, the members, the benefactors, the volunteers. And I did want to give a shout out, to Nina, of course, the director, but maybe before we just go to that slide, Nina, the directors in the FPMT kind of cultural complex is that the director really does hold the weight. They're the ones that are ultimately responsible for everything. And, doing the job from afar, as Nina's been doing, and schlepping down to Santa Fe, because I live in the same town as Nina, it's quite a little schlep, actually. It's like 5 hours. It's not easy. So, it's the fact that, and just even preparing this meeting, I think she prepared it on the plane to Switzerland, because we only got these slides like yesterday, and she, I know, was on the, traveling. So big shout out to the director.
On that topic, I just want to mention Charmaine. We haven't heard her name today, but I worked with her so closely, so I know how amazing she was during the pandemic. She was the energy behind the growth of the center, so I want to thank Charmaine.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this building is the result of Charmaine. I was with her the day she looked at it when it was still this church, we know, with this big baptismal bathtub behind me. And, the fact that she just took it on, it was like, oh my God, there was no money, that it all had to be borrowed. And then she had the vision to come completely remake it, to do all the renovations. And yeah, huge vision, huge courage, really huge courage. So then we're just giving a shout out also to Coral, who's been because she's retiring as being the grounds manager. And Lama Zopa and Lama Yeshe both, especially starting with Lama Yeshe, who was very, very into flowers and gardens and just loved gardening. There's always been the tradition of trying to keep the grounds lovely, to make it that it's beautiful and attractive to the eye. And being a gardener myself in this kind of climate, no easy task, no easy task at all. It's a labor of love. So yes, thank you, Coral, for making this nice environment for us.
Thank you so much.
And there is a new person, right, who's now kind of officially in charge of the grounds, right? I think Libby, is her name Libby?
Yes, I think Libby is in the Gompa. She is taking over Coral's job, but she is doing it on a democratic kind of way, meaning that she's building a team of garden stewards. And if anybody is interested in that job or in helping out with our grounds, it could be a beautiful way to connect with each other, with your hands in the ground and planting and making our surroundings more and more beautiful. Libby, if you can maybe wave to people there in the Gompa. I don't see you from here, but I know you're there. If you could just make yourself known, especially for those who are in Santa Fe, if you are interested in helping out, please let Libby know. And Coral is still on board and helping the team and helping Libby and kind of guiding all the efforts. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mary. And I wanted to quickly show this.
Nina, sorry, excuse
Yes.
me, Nina, sorry to interrupt you, but Libby's just saying a few words. So let me just give the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Libby, if you want to come to the middle so everybody online can also see you, because we only can, the camera is pointing at the stage.
I'd just like to say I'm very new to this community, but it's a really beautiful, energetic place. And I want to thank Rick for coming over, because the gutters were full of, it was a garden growing up there, and we needed to tend to it. So he got up on a ladder and I was collecting all the stuff. And Octavia came and cleaned up the courtyard. But I'd like to for you to think about after one of the teachings on Sunday, that we just get together for an hour and just do some of the grounds outside, not heavy duty work, but many hands. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Libby. And pizza is on us for those who love to work in the garden one Sunday. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you. And we specifically named Coral because she spent so many years and so many hours organizing, and Mary mentioned that's a lot of work, but probably everybody who is here online, everybody who is sitting in the Gompa, and everybody who is not here and maybe watching the recording deserves our big thanks, because every single one of you helped once, many times, maybe helping on daily basis. I specifically wanted to show the chart of our core team, because these are the people who are having jobs in the center. So A, it's really good to know who they are and what they are doing, but B, also to recognize their efforts, because those are the people who work at least 2-3 hours a week, every single week, year round, for the center. So I just wanted to quickly introduce them. I won't spend too much time because we're already a little bit behind, but you already saw Libby. Deirdre is celebrating Mother's Day today, so she's not in the Gompa as far as I know, but she is the person behind the beauty and functionality of our center. And also when the pipes burst, she's the one running with buckets and doing everything possible for our operations to run. So huge thanks to Deidre if you're watching it later. It's just such a relief to have her in the center. Oh, she's online. Wonderful. Okay, so I just got a message that Deidre is online. Perfect. So Deidre, you know how important you are to us. Thank you so much. We do have two open positions in our finance department. So anybody interested in either dealing with our finance operations or fundraising, let me know. We have a technology team. Up until last month, this was our Lou, our webmaster. Lou, as we know, is now in the Bardo and hopefully waiting for a wonderful, beautiful, perfect rebirth, knowing how amazing of a practitioner and friend he was. We were very lucky to have Diane jump in, almost hit the ground running, because our website is a living product, so it has to be maintained basically almost on daily basis. We're so lucky to have you, Diane. She's joining us online from Ohio. Thank you so much, volunteering for our website. Probably everybody knows Lauren, who is joining us from France. She is our systems technology manager, the person behind our entire digital infrastructure. Ben is helping Diane with the website and was helping also Lou with the website. I think he's there in the comp, I believe. And then Frank joined the team last year, and he is helping us with all kinds of interface and digital experience. It might sound like a little bit like hocus pocus. He just recently completed a project that is saving us hours every week, basically, because he created an interface that allows us to transfer our events that we'll have about 30 per week from our database to our websites per click. So there's no copying and pasting and no mistakes anymore and things like this. So he's our little genius behind our automation, new project that was completed recently and has been working very well, I believe, Diane. So both Diane and Verbal Don't Drop and Ben and all of us are really happy that it's in the background, but it's saving us a lot of time. We have, well, I should have probably mentioned it in the start, our two monastics. I apologize. As I come back, my eyes fixated on Deirdre and Liddy here, but our management team contains two extremely important people to our center, both ordained, Venerable Shanka Mitra and Venerable Lozan Dondrup. Venerable Dondrup is our spiritual program coordinator, the person without whom our education, which Mary mentioned how important that is, would not be happening. Every single event is planned by Venerable, is put in the database by Venerable, is coordinated by Venerable. Without him, I think without the director, I think the center could last for quite some time. Without Venerable Dondro, the center will be gone very quickly. So it's really, really important. And also from my side, I've been enjoying having Venerable Shanka helping me as an assistant director. Thank you so much, Venerable, for your help. It brought a lot of weight from my chest, especially when I travel or do some retreat. Venerable Shanka is there full hands-on as a director coordinating everything. And I really appreciate that, Venerable. We also have a marketing and public relations team. Here we do have an open position of community outreach manager. If anybody has interest in becoming more present in global community, but especially in Santa Fe community, you're welcome to volunteer for that. All the marketing, communications, newsletters, our social media are all designed and written by Isa, our marketing director. So she's a very important part of our communication. Hera just joined and she will speak a little bit, so I will not speak much about her role, but she joined us as people care manager, and Nancy is helping out Hera also, especially locally and to coordinate the Zoom aspect of our membership, meaning if there are gifts given in the Gompa, they will write down who was online and send those gifts out to you. For example, if you were present on Zoom, so that the experience is as close as possible for all our precious Zoomies as it is for those who are there in the Gompa personally. And last but not least, Chris is coordinating our Dharma Care program, which is the program designed to help our members in the time of need and connecting those who want to help in shopping, in keeping company. If you broke your leg, so you know who to call if you need somebody to, you know, help you up to the doctor's appointment or something like that. Chris is the main point of contact for those, and there are some local people who are also helping to coordinate that. So you can talk to, for example, Hera in the Gompa if you have some needs or would like to offer help. And then our biggest, most important team that is led by Venerable Dondrup, it's our education team, because that's where most of our activities are in the center. And Robert has been kindly offering help to us, Venerable Dondrup's assistant, in the last year and a half, and it's been wonderful. Thank you, Robert, for being there for us. Bill is our event planning manager. So, for example, if there's food today in the cafeteria, it's because Bill and Nell and Charlene together organized it. They're kind of a dream team in terms of like catering and planning big events. Bill has it all under control. It's really quite remarkable to watch him in action because some of those can be very stressful, those big events, but Bill is professionally doing it already for many tens of years, and it shows. He's amazing. The beauty of our altar and all our rituals, pujas, are there because of Mary. I don't know if Mary is still there because I know she lives far, but without her, you know, the water bowls wouldn't be filled. Her and her team, of course, she has a number of helpers and all our pujas. Christopher is our teacher care manager, so he's been taking care of bringing teachers from the airport, making sure that they got food on the table when they arrive in the teacher house. The teacher house is clean and prepared for our teachers and so on. So that's very important job in terms of helping the lamas and teachers who come and visit. Sheila will speak, so I will not speak for her. She's our amazing Zoom host coordinator, you know, with 30 plus events, and almost all of them are online, thanks to Sheila. Then all those who are catching up on teachings online on YouTube, you know that our teachings show up magically on YouTube with perfectly edited, with all the coughs edited out and other breaks and other things like that by our amazing Rick, who is also an avid biker and watched every single teaching that ever was taught in the center. Amazing. Thank you so much, Rick, and putting it all online. Julie is not there today. She's celebrating Mother's Day, but she asked me to let you know that the children program, which she is leading, is running really well. We've moved the location of the children's program from the center to the library, local library in Santa Fe, and it's happened already a few times, and it's been going extremely well. So there's a new program already planned. If you do know kids who might be interested, the program is called Happy Toolkit for Kids, and it's based on Buddhist teachings, teaching a little bit about emotions and meditations, one-off. So reach out to Julie if you want to know more about it. And Tony is our new addition to the team, our spa meditation program lead, who will also talk a little bit about the spa meditation in a moment. So I'm not going to speak for Tony here either. But what I will do is pass the mic to Venerable Dondrup first to talk about our spiritual program and the plans for the next few months. Thank you again, everybody. Yes, thank you. Thanks, George.
I said no slides. Now there's two of me.
I'll take one of you down, Venerable.
Good afternoon. Just a quick update on the spiritual program. We had a couple of milestones this past year. We restarted the basic program. We finished a 5-year basic program. We restarted it with Gendon. We have over 100 people from all around the world participating in the new basic program that we've started. So you're welcome. You can join now if you want to, or you can join the next topic. It's, you're always welcome to. They're all recorded, so if you miss them, you can catch up. We are coming toward the end of our most recent Discovering Buddhism. We do that on an ongoing basis as well. That was very successful. That's coming to an end. We joined IDMT, the FPMT's in-depth meditation training program for the first time. That every year, it's a 4-year program, so every year can be taken individually. We'll be announcing more about the 4th year in July, August. So if it seems interesting to you, you can just hop right in for that. And then it will restart the following year if you want to take it all the way through. In terms of things that are upcoming, it's always an ongoing process. Who's coming, what's happening. We benefit, as I said, Gendon started the basic program, but we benefit greatly from his presence here in Santa Fe in this time where we're in between resident teachers. He's been, really instrumental in keeping the momentum going, keeping programming going here. He's taking the reins right now on Sundays. We do in a couple of weeks, we have the monks coming back to do another sand mandala. They will be doing Green Tara from July 12th to July 18th. So they'll be here for a week building sand mandala. We're doing Green Tara because I can announce for the first time today that as of now, we still hope that Khenso Rinpoche will come back. Delek Rinpoche will be coming back a few weeks after that, late July, could be August, coming back for a 2-week visit to do both an empowerment of Green Tara and an empowerment of Medicine Buddha, and to give a teaching on Lama Tsongkhapa's Songs of Experience. So over the 2 weeks. So that's the exact dates are still in flux because he's got lots of other commitments in his tour, but hopefully we'll be able to announce exact dates for that soon. We can say that Venerable Gendon is also coming back. He was here. He's doing IDMT, as I said. He was here in person. He's coming back in October. That's on our website. You can take a look at that. He's doing a weekend retreat in October. We have Venerable Sangye Kadro doing 4 evening teachings here in November. Then we can say that Geshe Zopa is coming back in February, doing another weekend retreat in February with Geshe Zopa. And our Geshe-la is coming back in April. So Geshe-la for another weekend retreat. Geshe-la likes to look at like 3 or 4 topics to pick one. So if anybody has ideas for his weekend retreat, please send those ideas to me. Also, just send me ideas of things that you would like teachings about. It's always helpful to know what the community is interested in. There's lots of different places where we can slot those interests in with our visiting teachers. Could be with Geshe Zopa or Geshe Sherab. Just let me know what you want to get teachings on. And we have many, many opportunities to make that happen. So those are the upcoming teachings that we know about. Yeah, I think that's kind of just a quick overview of where we are, where we're going. And of course, it's an ongoing process. So also let me know which teachers you resonate with, who you'd like to see come back, because we'll have opportunities for that to happen. You're right. So I was going to say also, that Venerable Robina doesn't know, but that we are in the final stages of putting together an invitation to Venerable Robina for her return. So it's been a challenging time with the not knowing about Tariq Lama and all of that, while having to keep pushing things back, keep waiting for the visa situation. But we are, Nina and I were just talking on Friday about finalizing this invitation to Venerable Robina. So hopefully we'll be able to announce something on that front as well.
Please, Venerable Robina. More details coming from our side. Thank you, Venerable Andrew. Are there more questions or comments in the Gompa or online regarding our program?
Can I ask a question?
Of course, Venerable.
Just, I heard Matt say there are 30 events a week. And Venerable Dundrup, is that, what percentage is that are they both online or mostly online or some on in the center? Are the center courses in attendance growing, do you think, Venerable Dundrup?
In terms of what's online, 95% of the programming is available online, even if it's here in the Gompa. There's very, very few things. The movie nights we don't do online, but other than that, everything is available to the Zoom community. I think that, we are certainly on a good upward trajectory in terms of attendance and support, broadly speaking.
Venerable, to answer your question, I think that a couple of Sundays ago was the first time when we had to scramble to bring more chairs to the Gompa because it was so full that we didn't have enough chairs in the Gompa.
Oh, okay,
And we thought it was a good sign.
that's a good sign. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Venerable. So now I would like to invite our people care manager, and I'm putting the slide online just for a moment, just so that everybody can also get the email address in case you would like to contact Hera. We'll just speak in a second about her function as people care manager and what she can help out with and where she needs help as well.
Hello. Do you take that picture down?
Sure. You sent it to me, Hera.
I know, I was desperate. Hi, I'm Hera Madi, and I'm really, really grateful to be here and have been asked to do this people care manager position. It's my understanding that that involves just helping everybody in whatever ways they need. And so if you would come to me and let me know what you might need, I will try to help facilitate that. We have been trying to email everyone, and I'm slowly working off the email list. So if you haven't heard from me, I don't know, in the next 6 months, it means your email is messed up. And I've tried to reach out to individuals here that I know I can connect with, but that goes for everyone in our lovely Zoom community too, please. I would like to get to know people. I'm trying to get to know names. And that's a good segue into one of the things I would like to get a feel for people's interest in is a directory. A lot of organizations have a directory that's only available to the member community. It wouldn't be an online, availability to outside, but it would, involve just a name and a picture. So if everyone could sort of come to me with an email or just come to me in person, tell me what they feel about that. I would like to know so I can get a feel for that. I think it would be a really great way for us all to get to know each other a little better. I have a hard time with names sometimes, so if you've introduced yourself to me and I don't remember your name, please help me out again. And again, I'm Hera, and I'm here most Sundays as well as other times. And does anyone have any questions for me? Okay. Great. So June had a question here in the Gompa about the difference between Dharma care and the people care. So the Dharma care is really, that's Christina's wheelhouse. It's more to do with when people have specific needs, maybe a post-hospitalization situation or, a meal, a ride to a doctor's office, or a ride to anywhere, really. Things like that are kind of hands-on. We've got some people right now who needed help with organizational things, bills and paperwork and home items. So it's it's that kind of thing. There have been some folks that needed personal care. That was part of it, or helping Coral recently, coordinate sort of adjunct to the hospice team that came in. So that kind of direct stuff. And I am acting as a liaison to Christina. So because I'm here more than she is, if you want to come to me and let me know that you've got a need, then I kind of talk to her and she helps coordinate, because she has the kind of group, the base of people that are available to do those specific things. And then there's sort of more informal stuff, that, again, you can always come to me, and I'm connected with several of the people that are on the Dharma Care team, and I'm also on that team. It's just a different hat that I wear. The People Care Manager is about member support and how I can support them, how I can help, in other areas. There's a lot of crossover, trying to help boost membership, if people have ideas about that, make sure the members that we currently have are happy and have their needs met, but also, some creative ideas about how we find more members and we keep growing and growing and growing. You're welcome. Thanks for the question. It's a very good one. Anybody else have questions for me here or online? No? Great. And I'm
Thank you so
passing
much,
the
Sharon.
microphone on to someone else. Who would that be?
Yes,
Nina?
to Bill, please.
To Bill. Hi, Bill.
Thank you. So I'm Bill, as you just heard. So I'm special events coordinator, which entails helping out with some of the visiting retreat speakers and so on. And I also manage the movies. So in case you have not noticed, on the bulletin, just inside the door, walking in, there's a little tiny handout that looks like this. It's got all the movies listed for the year from March through October. We decided not to do movies in November, December, January, and February because of the holidays and then inclement weather or perceived inclement weather. I've been here some Januaries, it's been perfect, but again, a lot of people, just because it's January, they're afraid to leave their house. But anyway, this is the last Saturday of each month. So if you've not seen this, go take a look at it, because we invite you to come. The second thing I wanted to announce was I'm always looking for suggestions for movies as well. So if you've got a suggestion for a Buddhist themed movie, please let me know. And then most importantly, the reason I'm here right now is to beg of you, anyone locally that can help out. I am going to be out of town for 3 of the upcoming movies. So I could use someone here. It'll take you a few minutes to learn how to do it, but essentially, I can run you through in about 5 minutes how to set up the movie to be shown. It entails getting here a little bit early, and then, of course, sticking through the movie and then locking up the place afterwards. But it's a great merit building exercise, and I will donate my entire annual salary to those individuals that take upon this duty. So if you are interested or willing to do so, please see me at lunchtime or anytime over the next couple of weeks. The first one I'll be out of town for is the end of May, so I definitely need some help. Oh, thank you, Sean. And anyone else that wants to help out as well, please let me know, and I'm ready to. That's all, folks.
Thank you so much, Bill. And next up is something interesting for our Zoom participants, because movie nights, like I said, are one of the very few things that are not shared online. Because of few reasons, it's just difficult to manage. But for those who are interested, you can do Zoom hosting, even if you're not in town. Shara, you're up.
Thank you so much. This is my favorite picture of Judith. I just absolutely love it. First of all, like our dear Venerable Ravina said, being a volunteer is so beneficial, but it's also beneficial to not only to us as individuals, but also to our community. And it sounds a little scary, but I do need some Zoom hosts or Zoom co-hosts. And I promise it's not that scary. It gives you an opportunity to create a calm, beautiful environment, to create the feeling that you want each class to exude, and also to get to know teachers and your community, and to be helpful. But there's a lot of other things that also you'll learn a lot of things. You'll learn patience when the audio goes out. You'll learn, I don't know, you'll see where your ego is. It's a very, very beautiful way to give back to our community. There are so many people that can't leave their house, that are sick, that live very far away. And we have members as far away as Australia, Thailand, and as close as Santa Fe, just, a few miles from the Gompa. But oftentimes you just cannot make it, whether it's inclement weather and you don't want to drive. Having this opportunity to be a Zoom host and to provide this great environment, this beautiful environment, is most beneficial to you, but also to our great community. And we have become, at least for our Zoom community, we've become a family. So you're welcome to join us. You can give me a shout out at host at tnlsf.org. Nina and Venerable Shanka have, bless their hearts, they have been trying to get me to make videos for, so we do have a quick video education process. We'll walk you through so you can do a lot of your own training. And of course, I'm available to help whenever, but that's up. And if you have any questions,
so
give me a
much,
holler.
Sheila. And I think, just to mention, the training won't take you more than 20 minutes or so. It's really quite complicated. And another thing that I don't know if it was evident from Sheila's talk is that it's self-managed, so to speak. So we have a sign-on sheet. If there are classes that you anyway wish to join and you would like to do the Zoom hosting for them, you can sign up for them as a Zoom host. We are not pushing classes on anybody, so you can just choose the ones that you wish to host. It can be once a week, it can be once a month or once a year, whatever. It's self-managed, self-paced by the Zoom hosts and very flexible. And you can do it, like Sheila said, from wherever your home Gompa is. Thanks so much, Sheila.
Nina, will you tell them about the benefits of hosting several hours a month?
Yes, so for everybody who works for more than 2 hours a week, which is including hosting, if you would like to, what Matt also mentioned, supplement or replace your membership fees with volunteering, that's definitely an option. And then you have you basically are a member, and you are not expected or need to supplement with membership fees, basically. So everybody who works for 2 hours or more per week, including our Zoom hosting, is eligible. Of course, you're welcome to support. You saw that we're happy to receive the fund, but I know that it's not available to everybody, and that is an option to be a full rights member as a volunteer. Great, thank you so much, Shera. And I will move on because we're a little bit behind to Tony, who wanted to say a few words about spa meditation.
So this isn't Tony, this is Shankar, but I was just wanted to mention, because you guys didn't ask for any questions about the Zoom host thing. But I don't remember who it was. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking to someone who's overseas, and I was introducing myself, and I said, I'm with TNL in Santa Fe. And he goes, oh, I've joined your classes for months. And he said, you guys have the best, most wonderful Zoom environment. You make it so welcome that I've been coming back. And you know, everybody nowadays does things on Zoom. So it's, you know, you can go anywhere you like. So that was great. So they remember me just because of Shayla. So there you go.
I will say I also once got an email from somebody I haven't heard from for some months, and they said, just so you know, I just became a member yesterday because I joined like 5 classes, and every single time I joined, I was welcomed by my name. And that's the only place that I know online that does that. So it's really, really important what the Zoom hosts are doing. Thank you so much for everybody who's, many of you here are contributing to that effort. So thank you.
I've even met people here in Europe, and there's a couple even from Colombia who, yeah, when I mentioned working for Deepen Norbuling, they're like, oh, they like during the pandemic, especially, like that's when we started joining. And yeah, Deepen Norbuling is their Dharma community from wherever they are. It really is a beautiful and very special thing that the Zoom hosts provide for people, and that the center provides for people by having so much online programming. It really can't be overstated.
I completely agree. Thank you. Thank you, Shayla, and Shayla's team, all the Zoom hosts that are here and maybe listening also later to the recording. All right. Do we have Tony in the room? Our last team update?
Yeah, better.
Getting ready.
Sounds better even to me. So I'm Tony, and I have a position as the spa meditation leader, for lack of a better term. This position is approximately 7 to 12 hours old. I don't remember. So I'm not exactly sure what I have to say, but I'm definitely the new kid on the block. Maybe I will resort to a trip sheet that I wrote on the way here. Major focus is bringing people in who want to lead meditations at the Inn of the Five Graces, the spa at the Inn of the Five Graces. An amazing place. Similar energy to this Gampa, one of the most beautiful places I've ever walked into, unquestionably. It'd be a great place for anyone to work, especially any of you guys who would like to lead meditations there.
Can you explain what you mean, Tony? For people who don't understand what you're saying, can you explain more detail what you're meaning? It sounds very delicious, but rather abstract. It sounds like going to heaven. Tell us what it is.
We're all familiar with meditation. There are many types of meditation. And a meditation leader would go to the spa on Saturdays between 9 and 10:30. and simply instruct people on how to meditate. Some people have absolutely no idea, but they're at that spa and they show up. And it's been my direct experience that that's one of the best things you can ever do for someone. To strengthen their own Dharma position, or to bring them into the help them spark themselves to enter the Dharma or another realm that is comparable, whatever that might be for them. Currently looking for 5 new volunteers. The level that we must maintain at the spa to keep it equitable for everyone is approximately 7 teachers. And right now, Claire, Venerable, Shanka, but Venerable and Shanka are already overbooked. So it'd be great if some people can come up. And if we can have 10, 20, 30, even better. And what we're talking about as far as commitment is concerned is over the course of a year, if we have 7 people, over the course of the year, about 15 hours to 17 hours over 52 weeks. A great contribution without question. And as far as merit is concerned, which is always a concern here, I can't come up with a better way for lay practitioners to earn merit than to be in that spa and teach people. And people are who do have a meditation practice to encourage them more. And I don't know of a better way to pay back the Surratt family. No better way. Members of the Surratt family have come up to me and told me how important that is to them. And if they're breaking out to tell me that, it's real.
Thanks so much, Tony. And thank you for helping us organize it. Is there a
Amazing.
question in the Gompa?
I can't
Is
what?
there a question? Is there a question in the Gompa?
Any questions, guys? Yes? With what? That all of that is available there, and that's one of the reasons that the energy in the spa is so amazing, because there's lots of healing that are going on. Everything from massage to energy healers of various types. So there's a constant level of the support of nature, unquestionably.
Yes. Thank you so much, Tony.
I shut this off. Anybody else?
Great. Thank you very much. We will move on since we are a little bit short on time already, and we still have a couple important updates. Dalglish, one of our board members, joined to share updates about our director and resident teacher search. So if we are ready, I will pass the mic on to Dalglish, please.
I'm so glad mine doesn't have my photo.
There's no photo of yours, but you are here, Dalglish.
Well, first of all, thank you all so much for attending, for supporting, being in the center, either online on this Mother's Day. First of all, I'm not the expert here. Actually, Nina has been doing all the work on this. I am just the mouthpiece on this one. But the update on the resident teacher is that the R1 visa, so the religious worker visa for Charak Lama, is still processing. And as you may have heard, USCIS, on the one hand, is understaffed. On the other hand, is sort of upping its enforcement. So it's probably caught in the system somewhere. We have used every recourse we have. We've spoken to our lawyers. We have filed a petition through the local member of Congress. So as far as practical actions we could take, we've taken all of them. I suppose all that remains is for this community to dedicate their merits, because you know, the teacher coming would be of your benefit. So we have to create the causes and conditions. We will update you with any news that we receive when we get it. On the search for a director, I suppose before I say that, the fact that we're searching for a director means we have to thank Nina for 3 years of amazing service. Please join me in thanking her individually, collectively, for everything she has done for the center. As you saw just now, I mean, our membership is up, our bank accounts are healthy, we have a robust spiritual program, we have a wonderful volunteer community that's grown and stayed. I mean, this is such, it's not even, I wouldn't even call it a job. It's just service from beginning to end. So thank you, Nina. You leave big shoes for us to fill. Please join me in thanking her. And please, wait, no, before she leaves, I think she's hoping to depart no later than September. I hope you stick around, obviously show your face in some of our events in between your retreats. But please make sure to send a note to her or find her and thank her personally. So on the process, we posted the job April 7th. And for a deadline of May 3rd, it went out, right? It was on the FPMT website, it was on TNL's website, it was emailed, so all the usual channels. And the board has conducted interviews. We have met on May 3rd, so exactly a week ago, to make our final decisions. The reason we're not announcing it is that we basically have the candidate up to FPMT's approval. The FPMT board will look at all the materials that we put together, the decision, approve, and then we will be ready to announce. So I expect that you will hear from us more on this in hopefully a week or two. That was all the details. I'm happy to answer questions, but a lot of this is, you know, TBD. You'll hear from us as soon as there's anything to say.
Thank you very much, Satish. And if there are no questions about it, I will go ahead and I will just say it's been the pleasure of my life and honor of my life to serve this community. And I'm saying it very, very honestly. I don't think that there's any other community or any other job where so much love was shared with me every time I came online or to Santa Fe. I received a trillion virtual and real hugs, and it always recharged my batteries. And whoever comes as a new face of this center, please, if you give them a percentage of the support and love that you have given to me, their job will be very pleasurable and very easy. So thank you to all of you for energizing me as a director and hopefully supporting the new person who comes. And I wanted to finish by sharing a couple of highlights. There would be too many, you know, there were thousands of events that we had last year, but there were some big ones. So one of them that I wanted to share was our 25th anniversary. So for those who don't know, who are new, the center has been in Santa Fe for the last 25 years, and we celebrated the 25th anniversary in May 2025. As you can see, it was a big party and dancing and cakes and food. It was wonderful. Another highlight was the Sand Mandala, which happened in July 2025. And for those who are in town and also for those online, we actually do share updates of, you know, where the mandala is, and so also online. So you're so welcome to do it this year. It's an incredible, beautiful experience that happens in the center, and Venerable announced that there will be a new round coming in 2026 in around July.
Can you tell us,
And
Nina, which monks
yes.
they are? And I didn't mention which monastery they're from.
Yes, I think they are Gyuma or Gyuto. Venerable Dondrup, could you remind me? I forget, but I think Gyuma.
Drepung monks.
Oh, Drepung, so I told you. Okay. Drepung. So Drepung Monastery in India. And that event also helps to support that monastery, which has a few thousand monks studying there, and that is their fundraising tour as well. So by supporting them, you're also supporting Dharma activities of that beautiful community. And then in November 2025, we said bye to our beloved Geshe-la. It seems like it's been so long, right? It's been so long that he's already coming back again for teaching, in a few months. So it's been quite a big year. And this year, from what Venerable Dondrup said, it's also going to be a big year for us. But before we go there, I just wanted to say thanks to your support, we finished the path. And for those who are there in person, you can see the amazing Shritigarbha statue. I wanted to give a big shout out to Venerable Shanka and Deirdre, who have supported hands-on, were there to build the path. It's just incredible, beautiful. You can now circumambulate all the holy objects in our center. And when you come for a retreat, you can come out and have a beautiful little walk around the center. And it is wheelchair accessible. We made sure of that. And very, very beautiful. It will be even more and more beautiful as the time comes, as Libby and the garden team make sure that the flowers start blooming around it and so on. So it's huge thank you to all that supported it. We actually overachieved our goal by almost 50%. We were heading to collect $10,000 to complete the path. We ended up collecting almost $15,000, including a grant from FPMT for community support, because it will be it is a gathering center for us as a community. We ended up spending little less than $12,000, meaning that we have a couple of $1,000 still left in our landscape beautification community fund, which we are already eyeing either building. We have some feng shui advice, which Lama Zopa Rinpoche requested that we follow. And one of the things that need to happen is a larger stupa in front of the center, kind of on the roadside, which we're slowly planning for, but that is a humongous project to build a stupa. And then also a water feature, which you have to imagine as a little fountain with mantras there, so that the birds who drink the water from the fountain, or maybe insects who happen to touch the water, will be blessed, and will also add to the beauty and the energy of our center. And that also is supposed to be in the front. So we already have a little seed from all your support from the path that will hopefully support those and other landscaping projects around the center. Another thing that happened, and you can maybe see here a few people who were at the pilgrimage. Bill, who was just speaking, Lauren is with us. Those are some of the people who managed to make their way to India and Nepal. So we had a beautiful pilgrimage that happened and was hugely praised, and also brought some additional funds to the center from the donations from the participants of the pilgrimage. It was led by Paula Chichester and Cherokee Lama, and was a huge success. Some people got sick, but not too badly, and everybody came back safely just before all the problems started in the Middle East and so on. So we managed to squeeze through, and I think for many of us, it was a life-changing experience. So wonderful that you guys joined, and I'm so glad that it happened. And then other things that are happening are new programs that we designed to bring in people who are just beginners. We call them our touchpoint programs, and maybe that is part of the reason why we have so many more people coming to the Gompa and also joining online. The Buddhist Mind Science program has been very successful with Elaine, and that's a new program that FPMT brought. And Venerable mentioned also the in-depth meditation training that has been very successful. And for those who haven't joined, I really recommend to check it out. It's a beautiful program to train meditators, basically yogis. So for those who would like to learn a little bit more in-depth meditation. Then Venerable Dondrup has been teaching the new lay program, so to speak, or program that is meant to be not Buddhist per se, but using Buddhist practices and meditation to help people who are not necessarily Buddhism. So we call it universal education in FPMT, and the program is called The Wise Heart, Living with Purpose and Understanding, and it's managing emotions using meditation techniques, and that has been doing really well. It's every other Saturday in our center and online. So everybody who would like to check it out, it's kind of hop in, hop out. So you're welcome to join in. Then Feldenkrais is a body-related program, and that only happens in the center, so not online, but it has been also quite successful. We started with just 4 kind of test classes, and we already, the teacher basically requested that we extend it indefinitely. It's going to continue every Thursday, and if there is big interest online, I don't personally see why it couldn't be offered online. So if there is interest, let us know, because we will request and try to make it happen if that's something that you might be interested in. We also have sound baths in the center every quarter, and that has also been a beautiful, relaxing, amazing experience for everybody. We just introduced guided meditations before our Sunday teachings. So if you haven't seen that, it's also offered online, and very beautiful way to start the Sunday morning and prepare your mind for the teachings. It would be wonderful if you joined us before the regular teaching. I think they start at 9, if I'm not 9 Mountain Time, if I'm not mistaken. But check our calendar. And like I already said, something invisible but big amount of work and huge progress was the event entry automation. That was a digital project. Also, there is a TNL app launched for iPhone. That's Venerable Shanka's baby, and something really useful and wonderful for iPhone users. So if you're interested in checking it out and have an iPhone, please talk to Venerable Shanka about it. And for 2026, we didn't plan huge amount of tasks because of the outgoing incoming director. So basically the main goal at the moment for the board is to get the resident teacher and new director in place, and those two will then help to shape the year and hopefully years to come. I just wanted to remind everybody that we do have a 5-year strategy, which is conveniently fitting into Omani Padme Hum, which has plans and ambitions around our offering, which is our program, merit generation, professionalization of our center, and also home base, which is our physical location. I'm not going to go into detail because we're out of time, but I encourage everybody to take a look. We'll share the slides, and I think it's a good thing to know where we are aiming or where we're going. And like I said, for 2026, for now, Hera mentioned we'd like to get new members. So if you guys have ideas or want to encourage your friends, family, or whatever to check us out or become members, you're welcome to help us to reach that goal. Of course, new executive director, new resident teacher. And then if we manage to at least start on the water feature and the stupa, that would be wonderful. And also member area for only members with some way to connect and phone book and so on is something that we do have in mind, especially if it's something interesting for you guys. So please let Hera know if that's something you would support or want to happen rather sooner than later. And with that, I wanted to ask our Venerable Dondrop, I will take down your photo. If you could please lead us through the dedication. And while Venerable Dondrop is getting ready, I just wanted to thank you all for supporting us, for being here, and for all moms. Wish Happy Mother's Day. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your day with your kiddos. Thank you.
Hello again. So I wanted to begin with a sense of rejoicing. So thinking of the past 25-year history of the center, all of the people, over those 25 years. The center, like everything else, is a dependent arising, so it only exists, as we've been saying, due to the kindness of our teachers, kindness of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Lama Yeshe, kindness of all of the teachers who supported their mission, that we've been able to invite, that have invigorated and supported our programming, Geshe Sherab, Gandon, Venerable Urbina, so many other teachers that come from time to support us. All of the work, past directors, all of Nina's work in putting us in good stead for the future these last 3 years. So we think, and just tap into that sense of rejoicing in all of that mass of merit, energy, effort. I think that's ongoing, that's happening right now. And I think also 25 years is nothing. Lama Zopa Rinpoche's vast visions would want this center to exist for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. And so it's our obligation to create those causes, those conditions. So I think of all of that energy, that merit, and we think of offering it to that goal, offering it to the goal of having this center flourish for hundreds of years so that people can have a place to work on their minds, to create merit, to purify, to create all of the causes and conditions in their own lives to complete the path, obtain the final result of full awakening, which the world needs so much. Try to create those two states of mind, a mind of rejoicing and a mind of offering. All right.
Madam Gender, can we sing the prayer for Rinpoche to come back? Sorry.
So I'm sure that Shayla can get the swift return if you want.
I'm not sure if Shella is here, so I'll get it off.
Shayla's always here.
It's true.
It's true.
Can you make me a co-host, please?
Yes. Oh, you are here. I couldn't see you, Shella. You are always here.
Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pradeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now. Holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace,
What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for fortunate disciples.
Thank you very much, Venerable. Thank you everyone for joining. And for those who are in the Gompa, you're invited to join in for lunch, but hopefully it's already weighed in and you can hopefully smell it. And then for those online, I suggest we take a 5-minute break. And for those who would like to join for tea and have a little chat, you're welcome to do that. If you have to run, I know we're over time, so no problem with that either. But I thought it would be a nice way to get to know each other.